Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of Anatomy of Drawing a Comic Pinup. Today I will be showing you guys how I drew this Batman Who Laughs piece. I hope you guys can see it. Um, I will show you guys what I was thinking while I was illustrating the piece and how I went from penciling it to the final inks. If you guys like what you see here on my channel, please consider subscribing, of course commenting, liking and sharing my video. And if you want to see more of my artwork in general, please go to, it should be up here, my Instagram, it's at Sedat Özgen, and my Facebook is at Sedat Özgen Art. Instagram at Sedat Özgen, Facebook at Sedat Özgen Art. And as always, please comment, like, and share. I'm also thinking about maybe creating a Twitch channel, but more about that once I am able to get a hold of a new camera, which is a little bit tough right now. But thank you very much for tuning in, and see you in the video. Bye bye. Alright, everyone, today is going to be a really interesting video. I am going to be drawing the Batman Who Loves today, and I was having a really great time illustrating this piece, and I think it's, you know, uh, mainly because of the fact that I really like the design of this character. I think it's one of those, or he's one of those new enemies of Batman that I think will have a long-term impact on the series itself. I don't know much about his story, I have to admit, but from just his visuals, I think he's one of the most interesting looking characters. And I'm saying this knowing that Batman has probably the most interesting adversaries in comics. Um, each of his adversary represents some kind of a archetype that we are afraid of, or that scares us. And I think this one here is doing quite a real good job as well in this particular area. And I find the fact that one cannot see his eyes and that they are hidden behind that spiky mask, and everything makes him even more scarier, especially with those Joker kind of teeth and his slender physique. It's interesting that they didn't make him a muscular, bulky kind of character, which implicates that he's probably, a really smart one, really smart, and therefore probably even more evil character. And I love that idea. I love his design. I'm not too much into the whole leather thing and the long coat. That's a little bit, too 90s in my opinion, but too much of that Matrix sort of heavy metal kind of look. But then on the other hand, I think the title of this whole thing is Batman Heavy Metal or something like that, and so that may be one of the reasons why he's dressed up like that. But other than that, I think the character is, you know, amazingly well designed. I really enjoy drawing him. I've drawn him a few times for like pinups and stuff. One of those pinups I gave to Jim Lee or it was 1 year ago, and yeah. But other than that, this character is really interesting and a lot of fun to draw. And as you may have noticed, I have also added a tiny Batman into the palms of Batman who laughs, and it goes a little bit, into the direction that this Batman who laughs is a nightmarish, uber powerful bad guy who has this sort of power, or maybe even fear over Batman, or no, it's not fear, but he's able to you know to scare Batman, maybe because he knows his fears. That's what I wanted to say. I'm sorry if I you know wasn't able to communicate that properly, but yeah. And I mean, those lips, they are scary. Those hands, super scary. I especially love how the amazing Ben Oliver illustrates this character, because I find that he always makes his hands look really dis- you know disturbingly pale and really scary, and therefore I love it. And yeah. And as you can see, I am now inking with the brush pens again, and I am doing that because with these other pens I would have probably um, been trying to um, bring in details into the drawing that are unnecessary, especially with a character that has so much leather on his clothes, or basically his whole outfit is made out of leather, and you can very easily get lost in rendering highlights and all that stuff, and I was trying to avoid that. But um, I think sometimes you can't always use the brush pen for certain areas. For example, on his mouth and his teeth, I needed to use another um, fine liner, because there are certain areas that you don't want to mess up, and maybe if you are not warmed up properly, as with ink, with the inks and stuff like that, you may end up screwing your drawing up, or maybe making lines that you would have done better with another pen. And that's why I wasn't working with the brush pen the whole time in this process. But I think that you can clearly see that it's going into the right direction. I'm having a lot of fun, and that's usually a good indicator for the drawing to turn out nice, because when you're doing something and you're enjoying it, it's more likely going to be a drawing that will turn out nicely. Ironically, I have to say, sometimes when I make a drawing, that my perception seems to be completely different from the one that people have who look at my drawing, because sometimes I think, crap, I messed a drawing up, and then all of a sudden, you know, people will tell me, "Hey, I love this piece. This piece looks amazing. It is great," and the reaction online is also very positive, and I'm like, "What?" Because sometimes, you think to yourself, "Okay," and then other times I have a piece where I'm like, people are going to love this one, and then all of a sudden the reaction is like, mm, and that's always a little bit weird for me, and I don't know why that's the case, but sometimes it just happens, and it's funny, and yeah, and I'm starting to now fill out some areas on his costume, and I'm switching from my Molotov brush marker to my brush pens, because each pen has their own line, and with each different approach you can make certain strokes that you wouldn't be able to with the other pen, and yeah, and you know, I think this piece took me about 2 hours, maybe 2 hours and 10, on a DIN A4 sized drawing, and I think that's quite fast because usually I'm very slow. But I don't know, lately I have become much faster, and I think it is, as I may have mentioned in one of my earlier videos, due to these YouTube videos, and I'm glad that I started doing this. It is a little bit tough to do these videos on top of my other work because you know, making the video itself isn't the problem, but sometimes the post-production, such as speeding the artwork up, and even that isn't the hard part because I just recently found out that I can do it on my phone, and my phone is like 20 times faster than my damn computer. And the problem is usually that sometimes when I make these sound clips where I'm adding my audio comment onto them, that they will for some reason end up being longer or shorter than the video, although when I recorded them, I would record them while watching the video, so I can't explain what's going on there. Must be some kind of a technical issue that I can't figure out, but nonetheless, I am quite happy that I'm doing these videos. If I had someone who could, you know, do the whole editing stuff, I would probably be able to crank out a video every 2 days. But you know, since I don't have that much followers yet, and people are still not paying that much attention to my YouTube channel, I won't have to worry about that anytime soon. But you know, this drawing is coming along nicely, and I think it's definitely showing here. There's not much I can say about the process of this because it's fairly easy, and I'm fairly having a fairly good time. This was, my English, sometimes I sound like a first grader, but you know, like I said, I had a really good time. And when you're having a really good time with your art, you'll end up basically just flowing over the paper. You don't have to worry about anything, and everything goes to your own liking. And this is why everything here looks so cool. You know, I'm having fun, and when I'm having fun, everything becomes easier, and when things become easier, you are having more fun, and you know, the more fun you have, the easier it gets again, and then you will be even faster or better or whatever. So as you can also see, I have added this tiny Batman in there, and he's really scared of a big old Batman who loves, and I mean, who wouldn't, you know? And now I am adding some chains hanging down from the top of the drawing. I wasn't happy with how the shading under Batman Who Loves face was turning out, so I was noodling around a little bit more. I think I am going to go in there a second time, but first I am going to do the outlines for the chains here in the background, and these chains will only be silhouettes because I really didn't want to go in and make all those details and stuff like that, because that's overkill for these videos. But you know, it is fun, and I'm having a good time. And I hope you guys are having too. And if you guys do enjoy what you see here, if you guys do like what you see here, and if you want to see more, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and comment and like, and of course share my videos, because the more you share my videos, the more new followers I will get, and the more new followers I have, the more reason I will have to upload new videos. I'm also thinking about starting a Twitch channel, but the problem with Twitch right now is that um, it's really hard to get any webcams due to the corona crisis at this moment. You know, they are sold out, and it's really hard to get a new proper webcam. So I'll have to wait a little bit for that. But you know, once that is over, I will definitely think about maybe doing my own Twitch streams as well. Maybe you guys will be interested in that more than just the videos. Who knows? But it's not safe to say. And yeah, as you can see, I am now adding some whiteout into the drawing, and I'm adding a few things that weren't there in the beginning, because you know, I could do that, and why not do that then? And I always have fun adding the whiteout to the drawing, giving it a little bit of extra realism. And yeah, I think it's turning out really nice, and I hope you guys do have fun watching these videos. And I hope, which is even more interesting than or more important than just having fun, that you guys can take away something from these videos, that you'll be able to learn something for yourself, or maybe you can, you know, you're showing this to one of your friends and they are learning something from this. And if not, if you're just enjoying these videos and like listening to my voice, then that's cool as well. Thank you guys for tuning in. As always, thank you for subscribing and following me here on Instagram, on YouTube and Instagram and Facebook. I appreciate it. I love you guys. You are amazing. Thank you for all the amazing comments. And see you soon, hopefully. Bye bye, ladies and gentlemen.